Going to be talking about The 40 Days to a Personal Revolution by Baron Baptiste. This is the book that we'll be following all the way through the 40 days. And this book is designed to guide you slowly, gently through yoga practice, how to do this every morning or whatever time of day you designate. Different principles to clean your diet, to become more aware of how foods affect us, as well as adding meditation little bits at a time. There are excavation questions that we use to help kind of unravel and uncover some of those rocks that we have or limiting beliefs that we have that prevent us from excelling or moving forward in our goals in life. And every week we'll go through 2 laws of transformation. There's reading for the theme of the week. Every week there is a different theme. Week 1, for example, is presence, and then we have vitality, equanimity, restoration, centering, and then triumph for the last week. And these all kind of go together. So the focus that we have for the week has the balancing diet to support the work that we're doing. There are yoga poses that are explained. Really, it starts off with just 20 minutes of yoga. So you can see here that it explains the very beginning of a yoga class where you go from child's pose to downward dog to a fold that is called ragdoll, and then the basic poses. And every week we add on more and more poses, and we add on more time. Week 1 consists of 27 poses and only 20 minutes. So you can see that you don't even have to hold every pose for 20 minutes, for a whole minute. And it's really walking through this series. And as you go along, you'll continue to repeat the yoga poses that you learned at the beginning, adding on with more poses. Every pose also has a very detailed description about your alignment. The building blocks, how do you get there? So for example, how do you get from ragdoll to samasthiti or standing pose? And that would be from ragdoll, heel toe your feet together, bring the toes to touch. With soft knees, start rolling up, standing one vertebrae at a time. Stand up straight at the front of your mat. Drive your legs down into the earth and lift your sternum up towards the sky, creating traction between the soles of your feet and the top of your head. So it's very, very detailed. It also talks about your alignment, how everything should be aligned to what angle, and then it talks about the benefits as well. So for example, that just standing in samasthiti means standing at attention in Sanskrit, and it cultivates body awareness and helps establish your personal stature from the onset of your practice. So we stand here at attention at the very beginning before we begin any of those sun salutations, those big movements that we know in yoga. Everything has a purpose and an intention. Yoga is really placing your body in an intentional way, moving with your breath as we do vinyasa, and doing things to move the energy through your body that's going to benefit you. The meditation, we start with just 5 minutes of yoga. So this is to be done twice a day, and you can set any 5 minutes. I like to recommend doing it as soon as you wake up. Have it be the first thing you do. Find a nice comfortable seat, and you are at a nice place where you can rest here for just 5 minutes. And the book also guides you through meditation. It helps tell you what you should focus on or what you should let go of during your meditation practice. I will also be providing audio meditations that you can just hit play, and it's a guided meditation for you. That way you don't have to keep looking back at your book or try to memorize anything. Meditation, it's really about letting things go and letting things pass through you. So it's not a complete silence of the mind. It's not like you're stopping thinking, but you're not allowing thinking to stop you. Again, we start week 1 with 5 minutes of meditation twice a day. I recommend morning and night, the first thing you do when you get out of bed, the last thing you do before you get into bed. At the end of each meditation reading, we have some questions that we like to encourage you to journal and respond to these questions. There's really something to be said about reading a question and answering it in your head versus making that physical connection from your brain to your hand, writing it out and seeing it in front of you. And then also maybe saying it out loud. So when we meet every week, we always open it up to anybody that wants to share of anything that came up for them during the week, whether it's a struggle or a success, a revelation, something that they are just so proud of themselves for understanding, accomplishing, getting over, anything. So open to sharing. One, you think, the other, you write, then you see it on your paper, and then you say it out loud. These are all different ways to really solidify your truth and where you stand. Also, a lot of these questions are going to make us feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. When we go through this experience, the whole purpose is to uncover and unearth things that are blocking us, things that we need to heal from. And sometimes this comes with a little bit of emotional release as well. So if you find yourself crying or a little bit stressed or have anxiety when you're answering a question, know that you can always go back to that, and it's an opportunity you've just uncovered and you've just identified something that needs a little bit of more attention in your life. And we are here to help you. We're here to support you. So that was the meditation portion. The other part is the reading. You have reading for yoga, you have reading for meditation. There's also at the beginning of each week, it starts us off with our theme. So we'll just move to week 1 of presence. So it's pretty short, it's just 3 pages. And that's pretty consistent with every week. The other part of the reading is those laws of transformation. So every week we'll have 2 laws. So week 1 is seek the truth. And the second law is be willing to come apart. So each of these also have their stories and things that we can relate to. I'll read the rest of the laws of transformation. We have seek the truth, be willing to come apart, step out of your comfort zone, commit to growth, shift your vision, drop what you know, relax with what is, remove the rocks, don't rush the process, be true to yourself, be still and know, and understand that the whole is the goal. And these also go along with what we're focusing on for each week. So later on in the book, when you're reading stuff about your meditation or your week of presence, it may also reference the law of transformation. So 2 laws, reading that you need to read. One part that's to set you up for the week, and then the yoga poses and the meditation. So there's a few things that we're reading. And for the yoga poses, every week I will provide a tutorial really walking through everything that's here. So I would glance through it, read these sections, and when you're ready to try, click on the video and I will walk you through it so you don't have to keep looking at your book and moving back to your mat. There is a condensed version of the yoga practice at the end of the book that visually shows you what each week is. And then, so you can also just pull this out if you don't need to know all of the cues and everything else. You just know I'm going from chair pose to forward fold to halfway lift to high plank. I also provide a yoga flow for the week that you can do as a pre-recorded thing and designate a time every day to watch that and participate. And then the other part of this is a option to join me live for a Zoom call, and that will be every Wednesday. So midweek, we will do a Zoom call so that I can do a live class with you, and then you see what that feels like having a live class. You have reading, you have meditation, there's yoga, and the balancing diet part. So after the yoga section, it's balancing diet. So every week, this isn't a specific diet that we follow. Every week, it's guidance on what we can notice about the foods that we eat, how they affect us, what our body needs. So the first week is really identifying if your body is more of a body that is cooling, or do you need more building in your body? Do you need cleansing? Noticing the foods that you consume and how you prepare them, and whether those are heating or cooling foods, whether they're cleansing or bulking foods. And everyone's at a different place in their life where they need one or the other. So this helps you identify it. And then the next week you move on and there's another thing to focus on. There is a time where our balancing diet it's in week 4 when we're doing restoration. And week 4, we will be participating as a community in a fruit feast. So it is a fast where we do 3 days of eating only fruit, but don't worry because there are so many fruits that are great for you that are not those sweet fruits that we know of, but savory. So for example, if you like guacamole, you can make an all fruit guacamole because avocados, peppers, and tomatoes are all fruit, and you season it with lime. We're not doing salt during the fruit feast, but we are doing herbs and some spices. It is a challenge for some people. However, in 2021, it'll be my 5th time doing the whole 40 days as well as the cleanse. We have so many tips. We have recipes, we have support. We will always do a Zoom call before the week starts so that we address any concerns or questions that you have about the week or what's expected or who to contact if you need some support. So there are some guidelines for the 3-day cleanse, and those are things that are in your book, but we will also make sure to address these in the call. And I know for some people it's a little bit scary, but it's actually so great for your body. It will help make you feel lighter, more lifted. You will feel actually a little bit more energy because other foods sometimes bog us down and we don't notice. You will possibly and most likely have clearer skin, reduced bloating and inflammation. And once you come out of those 3 days of a fruit feast, you will also be able to start identifying foods that may not be serving you in the way that you think they are. And if that's not enough, we have an additional challenge where we recommend to everyone participating in the 40 days to really think about the stimulants in your body and in your daily life that may be limiting what you have truly accessible in the most natural way in your body. So we recommend to abstain from caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and added sugars during these 40 days. Every week, when we meet, we recommit. So we can start off everyone super gung-ho and say, I'm going to abstain from caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar for this next week. And you can add on anything else that you're working on. I have friends that are participating in a mental toughness program called 75 Hard. There are other people that are working on their self-talk and having a more positive dialogue with their inner voice. I have other people that are moving cross country and they really want to focus on being efficient in that move. Other friends that are just committed to electronic sundown. So once it's time to go to bed or an hour before that, turning off your phone, turning off notifications. Whatever your 2021 goals are, you can start and do this at the same time. Your recommitment verbalizes your goal and lets us know how we can support you as well. So if you have any more questions, let me know. I will recap one more time. Every Saturday, we will meet to talk about what's going to happen during the week, what your requirements are. We start with 5 minutes of meditation twice a day, 20 minutes of yoga, your readings, your journaling, and also if you wish to be paired with another person doing the program, you can also have an accountability buddy. And these buddies, you're supposed to check in with them throughout the week, see how they're doing. And that's your go-to person. If you don't want to write in our Facebook group and you want to ask a question or you need somebody to vent to, that's your buddy. I'm also always here and available for anybody, any day. So you have those requirements, you have your buddy to check in with. We have that Facebook group that's private just for us. This is where I want you to share your successes and share anything that comes up for you during the week. We're there for you. So you go through the week, you click the links for tutorials, you click the link for recipes. I'll be sharing recipes throughout some of the weeks as well. You click the link for Yoga Flow. You click the link to do a live yoga flow with me. This is actually more support given to you virtually than the last 3 years that I've had in a physical studio. And I'm so excited to do this with you. We had a group of people doing this 40 days just before the end of the year so that I could be ready to support you for 2021. A reminder, this is free to you completely, and all you have to do is purchase the book. You can also check it out online at your local library digitally. So before you go purchase, just check if it's available and check it out. And then it's truly free, and you really have nothing to lose, so much to gain. And this is just the best way to start your year, to be able to start 2021 with the best foot forward, becoming more in alignment with your true authentic self, getting rid of those limiting beliefs, being able to feel confident about accomplishing your goals, making any changes that you want in your life, having a community to support you. They're doing it with you, and we're going to do this together. And I'll still be there for you after the 40 days. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can email me at meeshifit@gmail.com. That's meeshifit@gmail.com, or connect with me on social media via Instagram at Michelle Marie Font. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you all on January 2nd for our first 40 Day to a Personal Revolution. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to meeting you all.